First things first, let's understand why these duplicates sneak into our QuickBooks files in the first place. Knowing the common causes can help you prevent them in the future. One frequent offender is manual data entry. We're all human, and sometimes, in the hustle and bustle of running a business, we might accidentally enter the same invoice or expense twice. Maybe you got interrupted mid-entry and then started over, or perhaps you simply misremembered entering it the first time. Another common source of duplicates arises from bank feeds. While bank feeds are incredibly convenient for automatically pulling in your transactions, sometimes a transaction might get imported more than once. This can happen due to temporary glitches in the connection or if you've adjusted the date range for the import. Third-party integrations can also be a surprising source of duplicate transactions. If you're using other apps that connect to your QuickBooks, like payment processors or e-commerce platforms, sometimes a transaction might sync over multiple times due to the integration settings or temporary communication issues between the systems. Finally, importing data incorrectly can lead to a flood of duplicates. Whether you're importing a CSV file or migrating data from another accounting software, if the mapping isn't precise or if you accidentally import the same file twice, you'll likely end up with duplicate entries. Now that we know the usual suspects, let's move on to the crucial part: identifying those sneaky duplicates lurking in your QuickBooks. Here are a few effective methods you can use. 1. The transaction list approach. This is a straightforward method for spotting obvious duplicates. Navigate to your Sales or Expenses tab, depending on the type of transaction you suspect is duplicated. Change the date range to encompass the period where you think the duplicates might have occurred. Carefully scan the list, paying close attention to transactions with the exact same date, amount, vendor/customer, and description. This method works best for identifying easily recognizable duplicates. 2. Running specific reports. QuickBooks offers several reports that can help you pinpoint duplicate transactions. Transaction list by date. This report allows you to see all transactions in chronological order. You can customize it to filter by specific transaction types, like invoices or payments, and vendors or customers. Look for consecutive entries with identical details. Audit log. While not specifically designed for finding duplicates, the audit log can be helpful if you suspect a transaction was accidentally entered and then re-entered. It tracks user activity and changes made to your QuickBooks file, including creation and modification of transactions. Custom reports. You can create custom reports filtering by specific criteria like date, amount, and payee/payer. This allows for a more targeted search if you have a suspicion about a particular set of transactions. 3. Reconciling your bank accounts regularly. Bank reconciliation is a vital practice for maintaining accurate records, and it can also help you identify duplicate transactions. When you're matching your bank statement to your QuickBooks entries, you might notice a transaction listed twice in QuickBooks that only appears once on your bank statement, or vice versa. 4. Utilizing QuickBooks Online's duplicate transaction app. If applicable, QuickBooks Online offers a built-in tool that can help identify potential duplicate transactions. Navigate to the banking section and look for an option like App Transactions or similar. QuickBooks may flag potential duplicates for your review. Once you've successfully identified those double trouble transactions, it's time to take action. You have two main options for dealing with them: merging or deleting. Merging duplicate entries. This option is available for certain types of list entries, such as customers, vendors, and items. Merging combines the information from the duplicate entries into a single unified record. This is particularly useful when you have two slightly different entries for the same customer or vendor, perhaps with a minor spelling variation. To merge, go to the relevant list, e.g., sales customers. Locate the two entries you want to merge. In QuickBooks Desktop, you can often right-click on one of the entries and select Merge with another. In QuickBooks Online, you might need to edit one of the entries and QuickBooks may suggest a potential duplicate to merge with. Follow the on-screen prompts to complete the merge. QuickBooks will typically ask you which information you want to keep from each entry. Deleting duplicate transactions. For actual duplicate transactions like two identical invoices or expense entries, the best course of action is usually to delete one of them. However, proceed with caution. Deleting transactions can have consequences for your reports and balances. Make sure you are absolutely certain that the transaction is a true duplicate before deleting it. Locate the duplicate transaction in your transaction list or report. Click on the transaction to open it. Look for a Delete or More button, usually at the bottom of the transaction window. Confirm that you want to delete the transaction. Important considerations before deleting. Back up your data. Before making any significant changes like deleting transactions, it's always a good practice to back up your QuickBooks data. This ensures that you can restore your file if anything goes wrong. Check for linked transactions. Before deleting a transaction, make sure it's not linked to other transactions. For example, if you're deleting a duplicate invoice, ensure it hasn't been partially paid. Deleting a linked transaction can create further imbalances. Consider the impact on reports. Deleting transactions will affect your financial reports. Ensure you understand the impact before proceeding. If the duplicate transaction has already been included in filed tax returns, consult with your accountant before deleting it. Voiding versus deleting. In some cases, especially if a transaction has been recorded in error, but you want to maintain an audit trail, consider voiding the transaction instead of deleting it. Voiding keeps the transaction in your records but sets the amount to 0. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.